Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm going to do something different. I am not going to review an album at all, or a film, which I'm starting to do on my channel. Instead, I am going to tell you one of my new favorite books of all time. But before we do that, let me just start with my ideas about a great sequel to a book. Because there are so many good sequels out there, but they're not my favorites. I don't tend to read sequels. I mean, the Percy Jackson sequels from the first series were pretty good, except for Sea of Monsters because it's weaker than the first one, and that is strictly my opinion. But it was still a pretty good sequel. It was just not my favorite. However, there were some issues with the Heroes of Olympus, because that one was just so weird. I mean, the first and last one were not great, and the middle three were good, but in a vacuum, they're just solo projects. I don't think they're all considered in the same vessel of time as the first one or the last one. And then the Chalice of Apollo were a very mixed bag of quality, but thank goodness Magnus Chase was also a mixed bag, so at least there are some consistencies going with this. But now we have the crown jewel of it all. The new book, The Sun and the Star, which is one of the weirdest and most boring books in the entire series. Because unlike those series, I don't see any reason why we needed a Nico-led book at all. In fact, most of the time, Nico is the boring person in the room. I don't understand why people like him. He is not a gay icon. I don't think we should just say he's a gay icon just because he's, in the Percy Jackson series. I think we should really consider other people more important than Nico, because Nico is one of the most boring and unlikable people I've ever read in a book. He's just so emo all the fucking time. At least this book knows that he's emo and tries to play him down and play it as a nerd, which is honestly more likable and enjoyable to listen to. And Will is boring. That's it. He's just a boring blonde. And I've never really liked Will, and I never got the idea of them as a couple. So yeah, this is not a good book in any way possible. I may make a separate video about this because this is a totally different video, but this is just a little with the book personally. Anyway, let's talk about something else. I started reading Percy Jackson when I was 13 years old. The same age as how long it took this book to come out after the last Percy Jackson-led book, which is The Last Olympian, released in 2009. You know what else is released? What was happening in 2009? The death of Michael Jackson, yes. 13 years in the making. This one has been made. Oh my god, I haven't read a Percy Jackson-centric books in years. Never have I ever thought that this would be possible. I would think he would still go for the third-person perspective in a lot of his books, but I don't know. He's doing something different with Percy Jackson and the Chalice of the Gods, which I have recently read. I got it from the library yesterday, okay, let me just back it up a little bit. I got it on December 14th, and I finished it on December 14th. It was enthralling. I like The Sun and the Star, which took me a while to read that piece of crap book. But damn, this book really brought me into the world again. Okay, maybe I should back up a little bit. This is the first Percy Jackson, Annabeth Jason, Grover, Underwood quest since the Lightning Thief, 18 years ago. And by the way, I want to give you the math. I am 18 years old right now. Yeah, so it took a long time for this book to come to these three again. Usually in the next 4 books, there will never be another Percy, Annabeth, and Grover-centric quest where it's solely a whole book that's doing it. And it's not like Grover and Annabeth didn't want to be on the quest. No, they volunteered in this book. And the spoilers, but yeah, everyone's actually have great chemistry this time around. Last time quest with 3 people was oh god, in the original Percy Jackson, not in the spin-offs, which I don't count, was in The Son of Neptune. And that That is a long time because that book came out in 2012, 11 years ago. Was the last time we got three people going on a quest together for an entire book. Not a little part of the book, not changing people, just with three people. I mean, it's not like Grover's there all the time and Annabeth's all the time. I mean, Percy's always all there. But there seems to be something about this book that just really likes to be Percy, Annabeth, and Grover centric, which I really, really love. Their chemistry is perfect in this, kind of like the original series. Though this time around, Annabeth and Percy are dating now, so there's some flirting going on there. But unlike another book which I'll get to this year, I don't find it annoying. I actually kind of find it sweet. I don't know why, but their chemistry really works in this book, unlike another couple which I'll get to in the year following. Possibly, if I fucking remember to record that video. Like, if I'm being honest, it's just to think about, is this really the best couple in the entire series? Well, kind of. It's the most popular in the entire Percy Jackson canon. There's some people who do not like this couple, and they think they're kind of just not interesting as a couple, but I find them to be interesting as a couple because, yeah, this time, unlike the Son of Neptune or like the Mark of Athena or the House of Hades, they aren't talking about each other that much. In fact, Percy barely even mentions how beautiful Annabeth is. He actually genuinely cares about her, and yeah, she genuinely cares about him, which is kind of funny when you think about the chemistry together. Grover is still as confident as ever. I love his growth throughout the entire series, and I was so angry when he was not even mentioned in the Heroes of Olympus that much. Only like 2 books in 1 scene, which really fucking irritates me because Grover is more likable than like half of the new characters introduced in this series. I mean, if you want to know half of those characters that are more terrible than anyone else, Jason Piper and that guy who shall not be named. He killed a stuffed animal. I think we all know his name, but I hate him to my dying bone because he's the most fucking annoying character I've ever read in a book. Even if he was not unlikable, I would kill him. Oh yeah, this has a book. Apparently Percy has to get like 3 guys to sign signatures because he's a mistake. I legit cannot believe that Poseidon actually says to Percy that he was a mistake. This book is instantly relatable. I've had that moments in my life. But there's something about this book that just really feels weird. Percy mentions how he's growing older and he's scared of being older, and oh my fucking god, that is so goddamn relatable. It's literally me, but not really because I don't have superpowers and I mean, I have autism. That's kind of like ADHD. I don't find monsters at all, but I survived COVID. I think that counts, right? Oh, it's too soon for COVID, sorry. But yeah, the parts where he's just mentioning the fact that he's getting older and how much he's going to miss certain people, but he's actually happy about his future is relatable as hell. I'm kind of graduating out of high school, and I get that feeling too. Especially the whole like 3 letters to fucking get into, New Rome University, which is so relatable because like you gotta get community service hours, and if you don't get it, you have to try to make them up as you go along. I'm in big shit right now, but aside from that, I think this book has really good moments. I do want to mention this, but I do like the beginning of the book. I like how it's simple and not over, explain and shit like that. I kind of like the slice of life approach this book has. Percy and Annabeth have amazing chemistry. I said that already, but they do. Their scenes are some of my favorite from the entire book. No. My second favorite. Not the third favorite. The second favorite is just a scene with Sally and Percy just sitting on the fire escape and looking out in the world. And Percy describes looking at everyone else's life. That really got to me, and I relate to looking out the window, looking at people's lives, but like, if you've ever seen my window, you would understand. But if you don't, I'm not going to show you what I mean. You guys see my room tour video, you would know that my fucking windows suck ass. I am looking at McDonald's. Yes, that is true. I am not looking directly at one, but I am looking at the sign of it, and that's a sad sight to see because, like, I see everyone else going there, and I don't go there. My first favorites is the climax. I do enjoy this one, and I don't like how like a lot of other Percy Jackson books of recent years, well, maybe except for the Son of Neptune, have big CGI battles. Basically, like there's big, complicated, over-explained battle scenes. The Mark of Athena onward just really had that kind of issue, but the House of Hades had the best example of it. But I don't hate it for that one. Like Percy's fighting. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but like spoiler alerts, he fights old age. Yeah, he's literally fighting old age. Don't look it up. And I like how he just hugs old age and embraces it. I think there's a metaphor that says Percy is just accepting that the fact that he's going to grow old because, well, the Chalice of the Gods give immortality to mortals. And I like how Percy doesn't try to get tempted to drink it, and he only says it as a joke, which really intrigues other people. I kind of like how the idea that the gods are still upset about the fact that Percy turned down immortality. And the only one who respects him is oddly a thief. But I honestly enjoy that. It really shows how Percy isn't viewed as perfect in this series because the gods don't like him. And some of the gods do, like, we all know that Aphrodite, Hestia, and Apollo probably do like Percy. But, like, yeah. I think the one thing I do have issue with is just a little bit of pacing, and even though the final battle was kind of intriguing, I kind of think it was kind of, it felt kind of underwhelming. Some of the middle kind of drags, and I do not like how Grover just, like, tries to flirt with this one girl even though he has a girlfriend, but he does make up for it. And he actually does improve his relationship, oddly enough. I guess if you try to cheat on your girlfriend, you actually have a better relationship than half the population. So I have to give it to this book for at least trying certain things differently. And this isn't the fault of the book, but I really, really thought Hebe was annoying. She is one of the most annoying characters I've ever read in the series. And I've read that guy. The guy that I think is the third and most annoying character, besides for Piper and Hebe. Wow, females are winning at something, being annoying, am I right? Anyway, I don't like the scene with the nostalgia baiting. I kind of find it to be annoying, but it did bring out some ironically funny moments, like Grover headbutting Percy and Annabeth saying stuff to Percy at a young age, which I would never think about happening. And I do kind of like how Sally just telling Percy that she's pregnant kind of ties in the fact that this came before Trials of Apollo, so it makes sense that Apollo didn't come in immediately to try to, help Percy out. So, yeah. All in all, this is a pretty cool book. I like how the stakes are not increasingly high, and they're pretty simple, and I do enjoy that because if I'm being honest, I'm tired of the whole saving the world narrative, and instead saving one person, which is kind of better than majority of the other books' endings. Aside from House of Hades, we never had a solo mission where we try to save a certain person or two people. We just usually get destroy the villain, save the world, only gonna skip the jewel. Like ADHD's fun. I guess that's why I like this book the most, and I like it better than the Son of the Star because it's better paced, it has better characters, it has better relationships, and its foreshadowing actually works in this book's favor. I probably want to make a separate video of why I think Percy Jackson and the Chalice of the Gods is a masterpiece later. For right now, it's an 8 out of 10, bordering on 9. So goodbye. Have a great day.